Sí, bom dia, tudo presente. Bom dia, Minister Navarro. Good morning, Peter and Jason. Thanks for being here and help us with the training of in the security field. Também kaya mundangi na turas nung presente ao mainta para seguir o curso. Para nós, como oficina de turismo, a segurança de turista principalmente é top importante. Natural, a segurança de turista é importante. Pero nós, quando trabalhamos na área de turismo, natural, nós focus está riba turista. Para nós, a segurança de turista é top importante, porque sobre nós que é turista, é bem corso, é vai com boa experiência. Então, conta seu amigo, sua família, seu conhecido, seu colega de trabalho, com bom ela passa na corso, com seguro corso tapa é turista por seguir bem corso e também de maneira que pode invitar todos os conhecidos para bem corso. Naturalmente, se turista bem corso, é guardo atracar ou guardo hortar, não com essa coisa no auto, é sabe naturalmente dá a experiência de turista. Agora vai back, naturalmente não tem conta nada bom de corso, então bibia, não que bem corso mas tampouco. Que é motivo aqui para nós é a segurança de turista top importante. Tem quadro de aqui, nós decidimos que nós vamos organizar training para nós visa purva de alto nível de segurança, de maneira que nós damos mais conhecimento na tour e corpo que está em área turística, tanto polícia, maneira turenda nós começar com o Politour junto com o Ministério de Justiça e corpo policial em dezembro do ano passado. E para via dessa aqui nós que purba de criar mais segurança em área turística. Pero também tem segurança na privada, que tem diferente hotel, tem parte de aduana, que é importante, tem imigração, que é importante, tem também diferente, nós visamos no centro de cidade, que tem também segurança privada que está também nos puertos, segurança nos puertos. Também é importante, porque aí também tem turismo cruzeiro que chega. Que tem tour é área de segurança aqui e durante uma treina na tour é corpo aqui, nós esperamos que nós possamos o nível de segurança para o turista. De maneira que agora vai back, vai com boa experiência e que seguir recomendar Corsol como destino seguro e destino que por desfrutar de sua vacância tranquilo sem problema.
Distinguished trainers from abroad, Dr. Peter Carlo and Mr. Jason Keller, welcome to Curacao. Nice to have you here. E distinguidos damas e caballeros. Para minha persona, de minha qualidade de ministro de Justiça do país Curacao, é um grande prazer e um grande honor para chamar o tour bom bini no início de período de training de segurança. Algo que é de imenso valor para nosso país, mas também particularmente para Corsol tomando em conta a situação que nós estamos passando agora aqui de nossos dois países. É a circunstância existente que nós temos aqui, que não somente camina a segurança do povo de Corsol, mas também que está sendo atentado contra a segurança de esnan que nós invitamos no nosso país e nós necessário cuidar, nos turistas. Aqui não é importante para nós tomar em consideração a segurança em sua totalidade, pero com ênfase natural é a segurança que nós temos de brincar com os turistas aqui e outros visitantes de nosso país. A situação atual está pondo com programa especialmente dirigido para estar encarregado com a segurança do turista está imperativo. Está por nada, dezembro do ano passado, depois de bastante tempo nós estamos papiando para Politour, a toma a decisão lá da Politour, lá que nós começamos. Nós um pouquinho da papel mais que 10 anos largo e nós mira com a situação que está empeorando. Na Corsol aqui, da maneira costume, com nosso papel roupa, nós gastamos coisas diretamente em grande, com o resultado que nada nos suceder. Começar. E nosso estado com Politour e está banhando de bom direção. Tomando na consideração a última particularidade aqui, a que está instituída em dezembro do ano passado, maneira de Politour. E durante esses 8 anos, ela mostra que tem seu direito de existência. Nós temos agora aqui 2 estabelecimentos, uma vai por quebrar, uma vai dizer, e esse man aqui nós vamos abrir esse na respeito. Segundo o business plan que nós planeamos, nós bem escade ainda, e nós espera passar todo por todo para que cada manter escade aí, para de maneira que o politur manhã que formando parte do corpo policial, da onde ingrediente, onde instância, onde parte da totalidade de brindamento de segurança, que o tesouro para o turista se sentir seguro na pessoa. Nós vamos olvidar, a hora que é turista, a hora de escorrer para um país, na primeiro lugar, ainda mira como bonita a praia está, com net hotel, etc. O tempo cambia. Na primeiro lugar, mira que segurança é país para brindar. E se nós ponemos como pessoal aqui, é pilar número 1 do turismo, nós necessário para a segurança optimal. É experto internacional riba terreno de segurança para a indústria turística, da Dr. Peter Tarlow, vocês vão conhecer acaba. E é não tão ainda desconhecido na pessoa. Já que na diferente ocasião estava de visita cerca de nós, para ajudar com sua ampla experiência e também no processo de lançamento de politur, o senhor Peter Tarlow estava um experto que ajuda-nos tremendamente nisso aí. Senhor Peter Tarlow é um experto especializado para o impacto de crime e terrorismo no setor de turismo. Por o ano de 1990, bem arriba, Dr. Tarlow está dando curso e treino no rondo mundo tocando de turismo, crime e terrorismo, na corpo policial, agente de segurança e outro profissional na área de turismo. De outra banda, o senhor Jason Keller, um político de 17 anos de experiência de onde é destinação de turismo top na América, na Texas. Atualmente está trabalhando como polícia, que está dirigindo o aspecto de crime de bacaia. E o Sr. Keller a desenvolver um programa de defesa próprio, na qual mais de 1.000 gente acaba a participar e ainda moeda que está treino aí na Texas. Me quer dizer, os participantes vindo entre outros do corpo policial, qual também será politur, agente de segurança no aeroporto, imigração, porto de RAF, praia e também é personal de companhia de segurança privada. Houve êxito que treinam aqui e me espera que o Lobo tenha a oportunidade de se acercar contribuir na segurança de turistas na Corsol. Mais, nós lo seguimos assunto aqui logo da trata de segurança de turista e com mais da hope importante para nosso país para nós só brinda islam para nos invitar para vir nosso país para não seguro para não classe de segurança. Me agradeço bastante para bastante atenção e espero que bastante tenha dia frutífero e que logo bastante sim ave nós prática para amanhã diz que Corsol é país bem Caribe número 1
I want to thank all of you for being here. This is truly the culmination of many years of hard work. First, before I go into that, I want to thank the people from the Curacao Tourism Board for all of their wonderful support. Without their vision, we wouldn't be here. Secondly, I think we all owe a tremendous round of applause to the Minister of Justice. He's here clearly, not only is he a man of vision, but he's a hardworking person. He doesn't feel well today, and he still came. And that tells us something about his commitment to a safe and secure island. He's someone who truly cares. And in the world, in every country in the world, people say politicians only care about themselves. He's the exception to the rule, so we should be very proud of him. I would be really remiss if I didn't give you a little bit of the history of this. And the person more than anyone else who's really thought about this day is Ritzel Gottfried. He began this process 4 years ago when we first talked about this at the Las Vegas yearly convention on tourism security. It was just a glimmer in his eye, and when he came back to Curacao, I think everybody thought he was crazy. And he wouldn't give up. And he saw problems down the road that no one at the time saw. So it took a huge amount of effort, a huge amount of work to try to understand where the world is going, to not react to problems, but rather to be proactive rather than reactive. And what Ritzel brought to this island is a sense of vision, a sense of understanding, a sense that in order for tourism to be successful, if it is not secure, none of us will have our jobs. And I think it's essential to realize every single person in this country, one way or the other, gets his or her salary either directly or indirectly from tourism, where there are no visitors coming, no airport, no customs. Even the oil industry, which once upon a time was very important here, the refinery, those were visitors. They were businessmen coming. And if people were afraid to come here and started to leave, we wouldn't be here today. Those of you who are in law enforcement, you know where you get your money from? Taxes. And if the country is broke, you don't have a salary. And so, once again, your salary might not come directly from tourism, but we all live one way or the other indirectly from tourism. It is the oil that makes this country go. And the person more than anybody else who had understood that where there is no security, there will be no tourism, in this country it was Ritzel Gottfried, who pushed it and drove people crazy, and people thought he was crazy, but he had a vision, he had an idea, and he made it happen. So I think we all owe a special round of applause to Ritzel for everything he's done. So Ritzel, Mashadanki. Today, this is, again, really a unique week. It's the first time that I've been told that in the history of Curacao, we're bringing people from all over the country, from different aspects. It'll be from the hotel industry, from the police industry, from law enforcement, from private security, from customs, immigration, airport, the cruise ports, you name it. Even the media's here. I'm sure they're going to say wonderful things. That we are able to bring people from all over Curacao, all with the concept of making this a safe place. Not only in where it's safe for visitors, it's also safe for the local population. Very often people say to me, why do you need special security for visitors? Well, by the end of this week, you'll understand that. But let me just put it very simply. Our job is not just to make Curacao safe for visitors. It's to make Curacao safe for everyone who lives on this island. It's to make it safe for the store owners. It's to make it safe for the people cleaning the streets at 5 in the morning. It's a safe island is a prosperous island. And a prosperous island is a happy island. So you're not just doing this here today for yourselves. It may be that somebody sent you to be here.
This is an island that when we make this island safe and secure, we're doing it not only for this generation, but for the next generation. And if it's not a place that people can live in and be happy and be prosperous, your children will go someplace else. So in order to, Curacao needs to double its population to be really functioning. We have about 135,000 people. A maximum population would be 260,000. If we're going to double our population, that means we have to have people want to come to live here. We all can't have 12 children. So in order to do that, we have to attract people to this country, to this island. And not everybody speaks Papiamento, so it'll take a little bit of an effort. But this, why will people come here? It's safe, it's pretty, it's fun, there are things to do. You can walk on the street at night and not be fearful. Those are the things we need to do. Okay, that was your pep talk. A little bit about the first 2 days and where we're going. To what I understand, most people here today are either in Politur, we're going to ask you about that, or in the regular police. In a sense, every police officer is part of tourism security. Matter of fact, every person who lives on Curacao is part of tourism security. So it really doesn't matter where you are or not, we're all part of it. But if you are in the police, you're going to get some special stuff. One, pay very careful attention. We will give the certificates out not at the end of this week, but the next time I come back, which we have to pick the date, it'll either be November or the very first part of December. But there'll be a second part to the course, and those of you who are police officers will be given a test. The test will be sent to Ritzel. He will distribute the test, and you'll be able to work on it. To help you, I produced a book of about 80 pages, pamphlet, that you'll be given at the end of the day, so that if you forget, you want to go back and review something, it's there for you, okay? So it's clear that we're going to work today and tomorrow. Most of the work, part of the work will be here, and we're also going to go into town and do some actual research, because it's easy to talk theoretically in this room, but in the end we have to get down to the real reality of life and see what the streets are like. Then you'll think about it. When I come back, we'll finish up, and then we will have a test the next time I come back. So I get another chance to come back to Curacao. So lucky me. Secondly, on Wednesday, we will be, those of you who are in Politor are invited to every day if you have permission. I'm not giving you permission, but if the Justice Minister gives you permission, you will do that. We will be looking at the airport and the seaport on Wednesday. On Thursday, we're going to talk about immigration and customs, aduana. And on Friday, I believe we're doing hotels and beaches. So every part of that is part of the tourism security of the island. And hopefully you'll be learning a little bit about each one of those things. Today, we're going to talk about some of the sociology, some of the basic concepts. A few of you heard me last time speak about that. That'll be a review. For those of you who are new, it'll be new material. Then later on today, we're going to talk about risk management, and we're going to talk about terrorism. I didn't want to talk about terrorism at first, but since we've last been here, the world has changed radically in the last 6 weeks. First of all, 6 weeks ago, only a month and a half ago, nobody thought about ISIS. Nobody thought about the fact that ISIS is planning on attacking tourism areas where people from Western Europe, especially Holland, and from the United States visit. What did I miss? Does Curacao mainly have people from Holland and the United States? Does that make you a target? All of a sudden, I worry about what would happen if, God forbid, somebody blew up a cruise ship in the middle of the harbor. And think what that would do. ISIS has already said it's looking to do that. I would be shocked. I don't want to scare anybody, but I would be shocked if you are not already being seen by someone. They have people implanted around the world. We know they're in the United States. We know that they're in Western Europe. The King of Saudi Arabia yesterday said, expect major attacks in Western Europe, the Caribbean, and the United States. That's not me, that's the King of Saudi Arabia. I'm not saying it will happen. I don't want to scare anybody, but we need to be prepared. If we're prepared, probably nothing will happen. You'll tell me I'm crazy, I'll be happy. If we're not prepared, you'll say, why didn't you tell us? So I'd rather have you get mad at me for teaching you and have nothing happen than not teach you and, God forbid, have something happen. So we'll have to talk about that. I will tell you, a country like Holland is a magnet for terrorism today. Think about, if I say, think Holland, what does Holland represent in much of the world? Freedom, liberty, women's rights. What does ISIS hate? Freedom, liberty, women's rights. See my point? So It's unfortunate, it's tragic, it's reality. You've got to deal with it. I know you heard a little bit about my friend and student and one of my adopted sons, Jason. I had the I'll tell you stories about Jason later on. I'll make him.
Don't make me shy.
I'm going to make him blush. But I had the pleasure of working with his police department in Grapevine, Texas, for a year. And we picked, I think it was 10 police officers. They were 10 selected police officers, and they were selected because of their personality, their good looks, their sweet smile, and they studied tourism security with me for a year. So they had, he's had lots of experience. Some of you have been to Las Vegas at our yearly conference in tourism security. Jason, some of his colleagues got to come to that. I'll tell